in the mind of the faithful peasant. And it doesn't matter if we're talking about blue peasants or red peasants. Anarchy is the absence of rules, and therefore the same as chaos. And so they fear it. They applaud the lunatics with guns and badges, or any other lunatics that are out there trying to stop looting or whatever. There's a rule against looting. So when it comes to the rules, they do exist. Anarchy is not the absence of rules. All kinds of rules exist and will always exist, I reckon. Of course, there are stupid and wrong, even immorally wrong rules. But there are also good, sensible, right rules. But the main thing about rules is choosing to abide by them or not abide by them is mostly a matter of figuring out what the consequences are. Both the consequences for observing them and the consequences for flouting them. There are always consequences, just as there are always rules. For myself, I prefer to observe the kind of rule, for example, that says no trespassing. I try to find places where that is not a posted rule, and then proceed to love those places. For me, there's a hard and fast rule that says you don't break fences, even if you don't go out of your way to mend them either. Fences by themselves are not rules exactly. Or even if you prefer to think of them as unwritten rules, the consequences of breaking those particular rules, and by break I don't mean break, I just mean fail to observe, the consequences vary widely. In some cases, I would even go so far as to say that the rules exist to be circumvented or exploited in their loopholes, their gaps. Forgive us, O Lord, sins, exploitations. Forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. This is what came of pushing my luck, like I hypothesized last time that I might. It's as close as we've gotten so far to perfection. Yes, the sky looks down on us. Yes, the distant hiss is still a thing. Yes, the road is sketch. And very probably impassable. Come the monsoon. But it's still February. The monsoon is a long time away. It's been very, very dry for a very long time. And that has allowed us the opportunity to push our luck and have it all work out. There's no reason why you should ever take my word about anarchy or anything else. I don't know a whole lot more than I do know. In the end, I'm just a variant of the same species as you. I was watching a debate the other day between a hardcore modern scientist and a Buddhist scientist monk. And one of the things that the monk pointed out was that the hardcore scientist, the cosmologist, he was preaching the gospel that said that he had no way of knowing what consciousness was, if it even existed, and that no one else did either. And the monk scientist smiled, and he said, I'll believe you, Sean, as far as it goes, when you say that you don't know. But I challenge your assertion about the impossibility of anyone knowing. All too often, I've been guilty of the same kind of thing that Sean the cosmologist was guilty of. In assuming that because something is or isn't one way for me, that it must, therefore, be or not be exactly the same for everyone. All I can really do is feel my own self, know it as best as possible, and share it like I'm doing right now in some highly inefficient way. When it comes to you, I certainly have my opinions, some of them immoral and wrong, and some of them feeling a little more keen, accurate, and even right. But in the end, I can't know how things really are over in your quantum consciousness, just as no matter how hard I try to gift you, you're not going to know how it really is here in mine.